There's a VX through to VY Commodore window regulator. This is the driver's side, and the problem I'm having is that I'm breaking these clips on a fairly regular basis. So I pulled it out to have a look to see why, and when I took it out I noticed that this arm here was starting to come free from the other side of it. In the process it was tending to tilt slightly that way. So because of that, I think that might have been putting significant load in the rail system and maybe just breaking those clips. So I've had a look at it, and I think what I'll do, rather than trying to weld it because that's only about 1 mil thick, I'll just put a plate across it and put Tech screws through, probably through the non-spot welded section, so probably on those ridges there, one there, and one there. Put Tech screws through them, or possibly bolts, and that's the shape of the metal that I've put on there. So I'll put those through, and then I'll probably put a couple of small screws there or pop rivets just to hold that. It gives a little bit better leverage, and that should hopefully stop that movement and give it a fairly easy repair, something you can do inside your own garage. Steel I've cut. It's only fairly thin, probably not even a mil thick, and I've just clamped it onto there. So now my next plan is to get the other arm. I've drilled the 3 holes in there. I'll line that up and make sure it's dead straight, and then I'll use that as a guide to drill the other 3 holes through, and that should then be able to be screwed together and made secure. And then I can undo the screws and put it back together through the regulator arm. Drilled through it, nice and aligned. It's going to keep the arms straight, and I'll put the self-tappers through and just give it a test before assembling it back into the correct location. We'll probably end up putting 1 more screw just in this location here. That way it gives a reasonable amount of leverage, so all the load doesn't go through just those 3 screws. Completed. I put 3 screws in there. I probably only needed 2, but the third one I only had that sort, so I had to make do. That one there I placed in from the other side because I was a bit worried it might hit the regulator arm. Hence that's why it's a good idea to have that longer tang so that you can fit it out further. In fact, the further out it came, the better. And the next job I'll do now is I'll grind the ends off down to a reasonable level. I won't grind them completely down, and they should then not cut you if you start putting your arms around inside it. Then possibly I'll have a look inside the gearbox to make sure there's no gears. Angle grinder inside that, and I'll ground the tip off that so you can't scratch your arm. Put some oil inside there. I think oil would probably work better in there than grease. Made sure it's all nice and free now, so that's moving fairly well, and ground the ends off those as well. It's fairly good. Just one final thing, have a look inside the gearbox. Motor off. It was just the 3 screws, the one there which I had to use the electrics to move there. You just put negative in one side, positive in the other, and it'll go one direction. Reverse the wires, it goes the other way. Took the 3 screws out, one was there, one was there, and one was there. That, by putting the electrics on, I was able to expose that one and dismantle it all, but I didn't actually dismantle the gearbox because it all seemed to be operating perfectly well, nice and clear and unhindered. I think I'll keep this one as a spare rather than breaking it up to have a look inside. And next time I try it, maybe under load it would slip. I can't be sure of it, but we'll just see how we go next time round. Hope you enjoyed watching.